I'm going to show you how to input your ages and stages questionnaires through the Seminole Early Learning Coalition's website. First, you need to go to www.seminoleearlylearning.org. This is our homepage. You will click on the Provider tab and then go to Child Screenings, which will pull up the Family Access page. It'll give you a brief description of the Ages and Stages questionnaire and then ask you to input the child's birth date and how many weeks premature the child was. The first field is the birth date. Notice the format is year, month, and date. I find it easiest to go ahead and just start with the drop-down calendar. The child's birth date that I'm going to be inputting is August 6, 2010. So I'm going to select the year first, then the month, and the date. And you'll see how the format is 2010, August 6th. This child was not premature. If the child is not premature, you're going to put in a 0, or you can put in how many weeks premature the child was, and hit submit. The next step is going to be to print out the ages and stages to do with the child. So this is going to be where you could do that. You're going to open up Adobe form. It might give you this bar down at the bottom asking you how you want to use the ages and stages. So it's asking you if you want to open it or save it. I'm just going to open it. It opens in an Adobe form, an Adobe file. And you could go ahead and print this up here at the top with the print file. And then you'll hit print. Once you have printed it, you're going to close out of this and complete the ages and stages with the child. Once you have finished the ages and stages, you will return to our home page, return to the Provider tab, Child Screenings. You're going to input the child's birth date one more time. And now you are ready to enter your results. So once you have the paper form completed with the child's results, the child's screening completely filled out, you're going to be ready to enter your results. At this point, it's going to ask you information about the person who completed the ages and stages, as well as the child. The first question is the date you completed the screening. You want to make sure that you are inputting the date that you actually did the screening with the child. The Family Access page is going to default to the date that you're entering it, but you want to make sure that you're inputting the date that you completed it. So go ahead, I'm going to change this date to October 9th because that is when I did the screening. So the month is October, the year is 2013, and the day was the 9th. You're going to want to put in the child's name, the gender, you can either use your address at the center or the child's address, but when you are putting in your information, you want to make sure that you're using this address at the center, not your personal address. So you're going to put in the person who completed the screening, not the person entering it. So if you have a designated person to enter your screenings, make sure they're putting in your information as the person who completed the screening. So this person was the child care provider that did the screening. We'll go ahead and use the same address as the child. If you use your address for the child, you can click this button and it will put the center's address in for you as well. The email is not a required field, but you can fill that out if you like. The next step is going to be to answer the ages and stages based on the questionnaire that you've already done with the child. So you're going to go ahead and answer those. If you see a text box like this, please fill in an example. This question is, does your child make sentences that are 3 or 4 words long? This child did, so this child told me they wanted to play with blocks, so I want to play with blocks. So we went ahead and put that in there as an example of yes. We'll go ahead and answer the rest. Another thing you want to check is that this date up here matches the date on your screening. If it does not, that means you didn't change the date that you inputted, or that you did the screening. You kept it on the date that you were putting the screening in. So you can make sure that your screening date is the date that you actually did it, and that the month is going to reflect that. Everything should match the screening that you have on paper form. So we'll go ahead and enter for gross motor. If a child does not want to answer a question or you can't get a response from them, you can select no response. But too many no responses is going to alert you once you continue. So you will see up here, it'll say please provide an answer for each question. If I see that there's a domain that has been not answered or fulfilled, I will just request you to do it for that child again the next month. It's okay if they don't answer, we'll just try again later. So I'll finish with problem solving. Again, I'm going to go ahead and give an example here. This child said that this picture was a picture of his daddy. Personal social will be the last one before the overall questions. And again, if you have any concerns, make sure you're filling them into the boxes. This child, we had a hard time understanding, so can you understand most of what your child says? We're going to say no. And put, sometimes I am unsure of what my child is asking for. This will let me know that you're having a concern for speech. And we'll say, can other people understand? At the store, the cashier was unsure of what my child was saying. So you can go ahead and give me an example or explain what your concerns are. Everything else, we're not going to have any other concerns for this child, so we're going to go ahead and put yes and no with no concerns. And we can submit it. It's just letting you know that your answers will not be able to be altered after you've submitted it, but that's okay because we've looked on our sheet, on our original questionnaire. And then it'll give you a thank you notice for submitting your ages and stages to me with my contact information and my phone number. Okay, if you want to do this for all of your kids, not just your school readiness children, you can do so. All you'll need to do is go to our website, the provider tab, child screenings, input the child's birth date, the weeks premature, and you'll simply just print the screening. You'll open it up down at the bottom, and you'll print the screening the way we did before. And this will allow you to do it with all your children, not just your school readiness children. Just do not return to the website to submit it to me. Once you have completed it on paper, you just keep that for your file. The school readiness questionnaires needed to be submitted to me, but the self-pay, private pay children do not need to be submitted to me. And that is how you complete your ages and stages.